In the baby's first year study, researchers gave 1,000 moms $333 extra a month, hoping that the brain development of their kids would turn out superior because if everybody had universal basic income, presumably everybody would be more intelligent, better off, more well educated, better brain development. Did it work? The goal of this study was to demonstrate that the more money that somebody has, the better the outcomes would be for their kids. And throughout the study, in the first year, there was some brain development in areas that would have been ordinarily a little bit more dormant. So in the beginning of this study, there was some promising outcomes, but nearing the end, it didn't go so well. By age 4, there were no significant differences in overall intelligence, language scores, or developmental milestones. The $333 just simply did not create smarter kids. My name is Casey, I'm the Rumble Right Dad, and this channel features information from my specific industry, which is psychology, therapy, and while I'm a believer, a Christian man, a conservative man, I believe there is still the potential to redeem some of this industry. That's why I'm doing this, and that's why we need to look at the hard truth that comes out of some of these studies, proving that really culture matters and the creation of a real and demonstrably conservative culture would help the psychology of our country. What this study truly demonstrates is that money is not necessarily a solution, but an amplifier, almost like you drink 4 beers and all of a sudden the truth begins to come out. It really did not. In the households where education and resources and healthy eating and those types of things weren't already part of the culture of the household, the extra money did not simply produce better outcomes. It may have, in fact, actually amplified some of the bad habits that had already persisted within the household. There was nothing, no strings attached to what the money was to be used for. So the extra money, no matter which household it entered into, did not necessarily make that big a difference because it just exacerbated all of the bad habits that were already persistent within these single mother households that prevented the child from learning in the first place, or perhaps developing a superior brain development during those times in the first place.
I said, hold up, wait a minute, something ain't right.
Here's the whole rub. Consistently, research has developed that shows that single strongest predictors of child successes are parental involvement, stable family life, and consistent educational engagement. So if you want your child to have good brain development, you have to be involved. You have to provide a stable home, preferably a 2-parent household, and then you have consistent educational involvement, meaning you have books, you read to the child, you may provide some homeschooling. Does that sound like some conservative values to you? Throwing money at an already broken environment doesn't do anything other than just simply amplify, make a more expensive version of that bad environment. This research study demonstrates that there is no reason to think that universal basic income would actually improve or drastically improve the circumstances of a vast many people, because the bad habits within the households would persist and that money would simply be used to perpetuate those bad habits. If we want to help kids thrive, we can't just change the bank balance. We've got to change the beliefs, habits, and culture that the family is oriented to, and that will change how the money is used. Because in the end, money is a tool, and it is a tool that's used to invest in the culture that the family already has. So if we don't change the culture, the outcomes won't change either. And unfortunately for these research scientists, they did not prove what they wanted to prove, and they quietly tried to sneak the research out there because they had to. But it proves that the culture matters. Culture first. What do you guys think about the attempt to just throw money at problems and see if it works, let alone where the money comes from? But giving money into these single parent households in order to try to improve their educational outcomes just simply didn't work. Drop a comment, a like, share, and subscribe if you believe that this is an actual way to fix a culture just by throwing more modern monetary theory at it. Or can we fix the culture by actually inculcating our values, Christian conservative values, into the mix? I'm interested to hear your comments. I'm sure I'll get some flack. Please like, share, and subscribe if I can serve you at all. Throw a question out to rumblerightdad@gmail.com, and I'll try to answer it in a future video. Have a great one.